Good evening, Canada. Sat Sri Akal. From our regular program of Voice of Canada, your host Asphandiar Wadiwalla, my co-host Ghada Hamdani, and we have a very dynamic guest who is a learned past person, Mr. Paramjit Suri. Ji,
Yeah,
welcome to our show.
thank you.
Introduce yourself with your name for our audience.
My name is, I am Paramjit Singh Suri. I am a resident of Woodbridge, Ontario, and I am right now 70-year-old young man.
You're a 70-year young man.
Man,
We attended his birthday recently.
yeah.
Oh, happy
At the
birthday.
back.
Thank you.
Belated happy birthday. Last month
Yeah.
only.
Oh, okay.
It was a surprise for which
It was
I was
family
not
birthday
ready.
surprise.
Oh, that's nice.
I was not aware of it at all.
And he was
Mr.
brought.
Wadiwalla was there.
Okay. Mr. Suri, welcome
Yeah.
to our show
Thank
today.
you.
Can you please share with us some information about your background, your education,
I did
and
my PhD.
qualifications?
From academic point of view, I have done my PhD in geological sciences, and I kept on pursuing academics in different areas too. And after coming to Canada, first of all, I pursued. I had interest in the travel industry, so I joined Radisson University. From the University of McGill, I completed my program as a international travel consultant of IATA. So I finished that. That was just my desire to learn.
Desire to learn.
Then over here I joined CDA College of Business Technology. I did my 3 years program in computer programming and system analysis.
Very good.
Then I went on to, I was working as on the civil engineering field here in Canada, and due to some health grounds, I had to leave that profession. Then I switched over to taxation and accounting, and I joined the block. And in the block, I eventually became a manager of the office, and I was teaching the tax programs for both at basic, intermediate, and advanced level. So that became one of my passions. I loved the numbers. I liked the numbers, so I am still doing that one. Then in the meantime, I became the certified translator of Canada. I am a translator from Punjabi to English and English Punjabi.
Very good.
And I did also complete my paralegal program. So I am a P1 license holder as a paralegal.
Plus, you can do the notary work also.
Yes, notary and
notary work also.
And at the same time, pursuing my law degree with the University of London in England. When I came to Canada, I did a lot of volunteer work, and one of the programs I did on an education basis completed was COPE program, Community Involvement Volunteer Program, that was to how to deal with the people who suffer from schizophrenia. Because back home, I was doing my PhD in environment in my geological fields. I did another PhD that was in educational on education side, and we worked on defense mechanisms used by adolescents in different school environments to justify their behavior and how it impacts the society, their social adjustment. So
in your life, you have just studied and studied.
So it is my passion.
Passion.
I don't have. I love learning. That's all.
But have you practiced any? It's like I know you practiced a couple of them. So, but
I am practicing. I did my engineering field. I was Government of India's officer too. I was a banking officer in India too. Here I did work in the engineering field. I did work in the taxation accounting field. I am a certified translator. I am a financial security advisor with Residence too, HLQP. So I'm pursuing these fields not to make money, but they
Passion, passion.
give me happiness. When I do
Happiness,
some,
and you give lots of advice also to people who approach you.
Real estate I do. I'm not for the sake of, but I want to do something which is a responsible real estate, which ensures that the client actually can afford. It's not going to be in a hole after some time. We try to give the real picture of these systems, that how the things are working. But being honest and being responsible, that is the key point of my
Your aim to serve
this
people.
is my life. This is my vision is that.
Okay.
I had been over here, I forgot to mention, for 4 years. I was the chair of the Scarborough Community Legal Aid Services. That was part of the legal clinics in Ontario. So those are my fields. That's my broad.
Paramjit Suriji, you currently are also managing the accounts of the people for tax purpose.
Yeah.
Lots of you do from home or home office.
No, I have my office.
You have your office.
I have an office in Woodbridge, so we do from there. And it is a dedicated clientele of people who are following me, whether they go to Sudbury or they go to Edmonton or
they are your clients. They're loyal clients.
They're loyal clients. Their loyalty is there. Yeah.
Go ahead.
You're very much it's like involved in volunteering. So can you tell us, how many nonprofit organizations you're supporting? What are you supporting? What are you doing? What are you volunteering?
What are your aims?
Volunteerism I had been enjoying even while being in India, but here I had a little bit of extra or more time. So when I came to Canada, I had time. So I started working with this co-program, that is Community Involvement Volunteer Program. There I did 3 months of a course, and then I become the qualified person to handle on volunteer basis these schizophrenic patients. Then I started working as an auxiliary with the OSHA General, so attending with the school kids, showing them in the hospital how the different wings of hospitals they work. Because teaching was my passion, so they said, okay, the school kids come, you go around with them in the hospital. Then I was working on the Meals on the Wheels program, also giving. Providing volunteer service to the seniors with the meals and on the wheels type of stuff. And then this community legal services, that is Scarborough Community Legal Services, that was a volunteer thing which was there. So I was involved like that with different things.
Mr. Suriji, please tell our viewers, inform our viewers, are you satisfied with the current policies of our federal government after the post-pandemic era?
See, the government is elected by us. They are in the power. And we have given them the right to make decisions.
That's true.
They can be right or wrong in decisions. But we are also part of their systems.
Definitely.
We're part of their decision making too. Yes, we are economically in a crunch situation. But to some extent, I think so. We have to see, are we responsibly behaving like the way the Canadian vision wants us to behave? Are we responsible resident of Canada? Are we responsible citizen of Canada? Are not we using, abusing and exploiting the system to our own advantage? Is it not contributing to the current chaos? I believe that if we look into it, the policies might be wrong, but we can be a component to make them better. What is the solution? Crunch is there. Government gave SEBA. SEBA loans were given. Ask ourselves, did we qualify for those SEBA loans?
It was misused also.
Misuse.
That was quietly misused also.
Misuse.
Are not we
blaming pandemic?
Instead of blaming, we have to work with the government to make things better, not to keep the system suffering and lurching.
Or sucking the government only.
We are not saying, see, changing the government for the sake of change is not the solution. I'm a hardcore conservative, but I still say, do we have the right choice? Are we going to change just for the sake of change? or we are going to make a right choice.
Solution.
Make the right choice.
You are a good
But
thinker.
first, and for that, we have to become a responsible citizen. One thing I always believe, right to vote is of citizens.
Definitely.
Then why people who are not holding citizenship are allowed to become a part of the process of nomination?
Yes.
That has to be addressed.
That has to be addressed, yeah. There are irregularities.
System was very nice. System has become a little lenient. We were a self-responsible, self-governing society, and we are running into a system where it can be a policing society, where we need ourselves to be totally controlled, totally watched.
Yeah.
So we have to go back.
Absolutely. Well, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a profound impact on both the global and Canadian economies. In your opinion, what steps should be taken to help Canada recover from this
post-pandemic crisis?
See, the question is, economic prosperity of any nation is based upon its ability to generate. Where are the jobs? Where is the manufacturing? From where the jobs are going to come back? We have to create some system where we recover.
No, but currently we are under economic hardships.
Yeah.
The majority of the population in GTH is overstressed financially. And they are unable to come out of it because there is a huge unemployment also.
Question is very simple and straightforward. When we came to Canada, how many cars we had in our house? One car?
One, but now the 4
One car. If you have 4 cars, you cannot afford 4 cars. Why you are having 4 cars? We have to see ourselves first. If we control ourselves, we have to first look into ourselves. Don't look at the government. The government has got their limited resources. We accept it. But are not we contributing that?
That is true.
We have to, in our means, in the what you call, in financial planning, economics is a rule. It is called 50-30-20. You must be able to find out on your piece of paper what are your needs.
Basic needs.
You have to first fulfill your basic needs. 50% of your income should meet the basic needs. 20% of your earnings must go towards the saving. 30% has to be put aside, that if you have any desire, you need a basic phone. Now you are going with an iPhone. Can you afford that? No. Until you have that 30% cash in your hand, do not go for that. You have to control yourself. It is a self-managing. You have to start. If every Canadian start managing or responding in a responsible way, I think we will be much better.
That's a good advice.
That's a very, very good advice. But these days the trend is opposite.
So why we are blaming the government? Why blaming the system today? Today I will tell you, I was going in the car. There is a lane which is right turning lane. Are we responsible component of the system? Are we responsible, road ready for that? The person who was a qualified driving in professional, he took his car from that right turn lane into the straight lane. Why?
Oh my God.
What was the emergency?
And he can cause an accident, severe accident.
Why?
Can cause. People break law.
So we are behaving like that. I came to Canada 88. We had seen where Canadians were respecting individuals on the road.
Those times were different.
No, but why we lost those times?
Yeah.
It's our communities, the immigrant communities.
Don't say community. The question is why we lost.
Yes.
Because we did not follow seriously.
Because we have not been telling people who come to Canada, this is the way to live.
Yeah. So education, and then
we have
they have to obey the
I
law.
still remember, I came to Canada. My uncle, who was a professional engineer in Whitby, he told me, "Come on, let me tell you how to take shower." This is the shower. His washroom had full carpets. This is the way. When you are going in the washroom, you have a right to have a clean washroom. When you leave the washroom, the other person has the right to enter the clean. So you must clean it before you go.
Yeah,
so those things are taught.
Yes.
The rules were taught.
So the question is, we are somewhere ourselves to blame. instead of blaming
Definitely.
others.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
That is my perception of it.
We'll be taking a short break and we will be with you shortly. Welcome back after a short break in our weekly talk show, Voice of Canada. Your host, Asphandiar Wadiwalla, and my co-host, Ghada Hamdani, and our guest speaker is Paramjit Singh.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back after the break.
Thank you.
So, go ahead.
Mr. Suri, so the housing affordability is a significant issue right now, especially for the first-time buyers. So in GTA, of course, we're talking. What solution do you believe could help address the housing crisis?
That's a serious issue has come out about housing.
Yes.
No.
Again, is it misuse?
No, the
How?
first-time buyer
First time buyer, see,
cannot afford to buy a house. The prices.
Yeah.
the question is
Over
right
a
now we
million.
are in a system where the first time home buyer is unable to afford
To buy.
afford. That will take time to address, because the issue is these days, if we say affordability, maybe if you look into the material fact, when we came to Canada, the hourly rate was maybe $5 or $6.
Mm-hmm.
Now the hourly rate is how much?
17 something.
$17. At that time, one person was earning and everybody else, wife is mostly used to be at home.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Now both husband and wife are earning.
Yeah.
If they cannot afford a big house, they can start with a small house.
Even small houses, it's like now the townhouses start
But they
with
cannot
1.5.
even buy the small house also, even a room
Exactly.
also.
See,
And the dollar.
I still remember
Yeah.
when I bought my first house, we bought with 5%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
5 people.
5%.
5%,
5%. At that time, first time home buyer plans had a limitation too. Now they have got expanded the scope up to $60,000-$80,000 of down payment.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, right now, and a person who is educated, I have seen my clients where we could not have. Average client is easily making, average family is making $150,000 to $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why can't they afford? They have to cut some of their
Expenditures
expenses.
are very high.
They have to cut down some of their expenditures.
Yeah, but that's one thing, the problem is when the houses prices are going up and the income is, cannot
See,
cover, that means economy is very bad.
Who is responsible for that? When we knew we are not capable to afford, we are buying 4 or 5 houses with the aim that it will go up in the market and we'll make money out of it. That was our calculation, our expectation, our parents' expectation, our children.
The greediness.
Greediness. That's what has put
But
everything
we're
on
talking about single house right now, it's like the first house to buy, right?
And the couples
so
are struggling.
And this
always,
is inflation.
that is always there. Somebody has to suffer. Somebody has to pay the price. But no, if I am there today, my son can't afford. But when in my house, I am carrying equity of $1 million. They are having that money. Parents have the houses. Parents have the houses.
But every children doesn't have that kind of
Exactly.
parents.
Special
You are and your
But
family.
they have to start small.
traditions
They have to start small. Out of the town, they can go
Even
out of
small,
town.
they cannot.
Even today, in London, you can buy a house full detached house of $600,000.
Mhm.
I have
London,
Not
Ontario.
London,
anymore.
Ontario.
Not anymore.
No, he bought it last week.
Yeah.
Really?
One of my friend, he works in Toronto.
Uh-huh.
He has bought a house. He
In
said he
London.
can't afford it. He bought, 2 years ago, he bought the house in London for $300,000, maybe the small old city area. But he's happy. He said, I have no mortgage at all.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
And he has bought the house outright.
If he works there, yes, like for the job.
Mortgage.
Yeah.
So the question is, you have this system at this time. It is not with only here. It is everywhere.
Yes.
You go anywhere in the world, the same crisis is there. If we blame that our society is facing that, everybody is facing that challenge. But that challenge we have to address ourselves by controlling our expenses, controlling our needs, and micromanaging ourselves. We know we cannot live the same lifestyle. And if we leave, we have to pay the price over here. Every day you go out and take food in the restaurant, how you will have something?
You can't afford.
Look,
Every day you can't afford.
So you have to micromanage yourself. I believe in, if you micromanage yourself, you will have the solution.
Suriji, as you're a far-sighted person, well-learned and educated, so would you throw some light on our educational system? Why our educational system is suffering so badly? The education system is deteriorating in our schools, public schools. What are the reasons?
That is a concern right now for everybody. That is a concern.
What should be done to improve our educational system?
The government has to come up with some tough laws to ensure that in the school, first of all, in the schools over here, the respect for teacher or respect for parent is gone. Teacher cannot say main issue. Teacher cannot say anything to student. The teachers can teach. The control of the teacher is zero. With love and affection, yes, you can control, but sometimes you are not able to.
Unable to.
That management.
Looks like American schools.
Yeah, we
is
have.
becoming
Here we have to be extra careful because the government is part of the problem, and what we're seeing actually is the opposite. The parents and the children are asking for respect because the teacher has to be respectful, and what we have seen recently, there are unacceptable behaviors from some teachers, and this is wrong to be at school. I don't want to mention some, it was all over the media, right? So we have a problem. It's two parts, not only the school, not only the parents, we have the government. The government played a big role in promoting such behaviors, and it's like something.
I agree with you. There has to be, every society has to set their own educational standards and parameters.
Yes,
Schooling has to have their own parameters. Middle standard, high school, higher secondary, or go to university, there has to be standards. Government has to.
But they're not being followed. The
It should be education. We need to focus on education at school.
Standards,
and that's what we're not here.
Standards have to be there. Now the issue is the monitoring system is somehow is failing. That teachers are given. See the results of, for example, math, science, and all, they are falling down in grades. Why they are falling down in grades? Because if the teacher gives homework, if the student doesn't do at home, the parents do not cooperate, then who is to blame?
Number 10.
Who is to blame?
Go ahead, number 10.
Who's to blame?
Yeah.
Parents, teachers, and students, they all have to act in an interactive environment. They have to listen to each other, learn from each other to build their system better.
So we need to focus more on education. At school.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
number
that's
10.
the thing.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay, with inflation and the resulting of economic pressure, there's been noticeable increase in crime rates across Ontario, right?
Especially the car thefts,
Yes, yeah. And
robberies, killings.
So what changes are needed, to strengthen our,
What do you think?
it's like our
law enforcement is weak. Law enforcement
So you mean we must have a new police reforms?
There should be, because
overall police
society
reforms.
is not same. These laws are meant for society which was self-respecting, self-caring, self-honoring. Now the society is no longer that society. If you are going on the road, I remember when somebody gave you way, you waved the hand, but now
courtesy.
they exert their right. They
curse you. They curse you.
So the issue is, if the stringent laws come of a person come from overseas, like a third world
country.
Asian country, like my country. Our road system is different as compared to
Canadian system.
How that person within 15 days can get acquainted to the system over here? You have to give them the space and time to adjust. If you give them, okay, come here, you do the return, your G2, wait for 3 months or 6 months before you go to G2, then you go for G, and then you go to truck. And within 1 month, they are coming and they are boarding on the truck. There will be crime. They drive the truck like the car.
Yeah.
On the car
So
also.
they drive without a license or permission.
No, with the license.
Yeah.
Within 1 month they will get the license.
1 month they can get the license.
Why not?
Wow.
If they are
That's
driving.
surprising.
If they're driving,
Yeah, if
but
they're
they
driving,
see driving a vehicle and managing the system is two different things. Here, road system is different, traffic system is, rules are different. They must give a 2-year span before a professional driver comes on the trucking system, and they are giving right away. So for the accident, same thing. For the car theft thing, because our policing system is not
Very weak. The next day, the culprits are released on the bail.
Very slow.
Yeah, well,
Very-
the rights of the police were taken from there. It's like
It's very slow.
yeah, tight-handed now.
Very
With the
slow.
government
So
tools
whatever is there,
again,
they have to make
right?
it tough, because who is
Yeah.
suffering? Common man is suffering.
Yeah, but they made it looser actually. That's
Whatever
what
is they
happened.
did,
Yeah, so it's
they
the government.
either restore the right powers back
So,
to police.
Mr. Suriji, are you satisfied with the current immigration programs? We have got a massive immigration program, and now people are unemployed. Practically, if you see a total culminative process, it's about 16%. And government is showing the figure of 6.4, whereas over 16%
Because
are unemployed.
they take it from how many people are on EI.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
People
to say.
who are self-employed, they cannot go on EI. Only those people who are employed, only they can go on
They
EI.
get EI.
Yeah, so that figure is not correct figure. You are very right. See, the question is immigration. They should have seen the resources before opening the doors like that. Secondly,
And they give work permits to the third world people of third world country.
The question is, we don't discriminate with the word third world. The question is, anybody who come to Canada, you loosen the law to give the work permit even to the visitors.
To visitors also.
So you start with the LMIA programs. Well, LMIA program helped some, damaged some. So it had a different
Because
impact.
now there are so much of unemployment that educated people are ready to work and do the domestic work and other things.
Yes.
We are really shocked. They have no money to feed themselves, to put meals on the table.
Yeah. So many Canadians, the students, it's like there is no employment. So how can we address
Because
that?
their moves, the question is my one question to you is
Yeah.
this. Reducing or cutting the services, is it the solution?
No.
When did the service cut take place? Around 15 years ago, when Revenue Canada offices were closed, offices were let go, we are doing cost cutting, and Canada becomes into positive cash flow. You are reducing the debt, but who is impacted by that cut? Before, you had an office where you could go and get your need met in immigration, in what you call your Revenue Canada, but now you don't speak English, and the person on the phone wants the answer in English. How your parent are going to interact over there? But when the offices were there, somebody will go and get the problem resolved. We are paying taxes. We are paying more taxes for those services, and why those benefits have been taken away from us? That is the question right now.
They have translators.
No, who on the phone? No, it doesn't work like that.
Not on the phone.
Doesn't work like that. Everybody, see, it is a lot of inconvenience by cutting down services. Now, the new alternative which they are proposing, cutting the services. Cutting the services hurt whom?
The people.
People. The question
now, Suriji, you must be aware or not. Even we checked with the Gurdwaras. They said we have got a very heavy rush for dinner, and there are non-Sikhs, Canadians, who are coming and having meals. So this is the situation. Economic crisis is showing that those people have got no place to go and eat. But Gurdwara, with a large heart, they are feeding those people.
We have seen well-to-do people who have everything. They just to save they're coming there.
That's not
No,
good.
it is. The people have to realize if they can, why they are coming. If they have everything at home.
But why they do that way? And why the Gurdwara people don't keep a check on it?
Oh no, we can't. Gurdwara cannot keep a check on it. It's open.
It's open to all.
Open to all.
Whoever goes, they will keep.
Not a big issue. That is a big issue.
They say it's a very huge demand during dinner time. We don't have that much people who are praying.
No,
But
sir.
at dinner time, we have got double the population
See,
demanding the food.
students are there, they are going there, they do service also. We don't say they, but the question is, students are working also. They are doing two jobs. They are doing, all the students are working. They're saying not working, they are working, they have work, somebody is doing somewhere there. But the question is very different. If the government knew that these people cannot be accommodated, then they should not have opened the doors like that. And especially to the students, they should not have opened after grade 12. They should have opened after grade university degree. That would have much better.
That's it.
But that damage is done. What you can do? Damage is done. Damage is there. We can only talk, but we cannot resolve.
Mr. Suri, you manage both your accounting firm and household responsibilities. And actually, the spouse, again, she's engaged, very much engaged in volunteering work in the community. So, how can you manage your time? How could you balance and
manage the house, manage the boys, manage the family?
If there is a will, there is a way.
Very
That's
good.
So true.
Very true.
That's very.
I always believe if there is a will, there is a way.
Okay, your two sons have grown up very well.
They are grown up. I am born and brought up of traditional, so I have to make sure. I am not in a competition with anybody. Yes. My wife can make. She can earn. Okay, go earn. I can run the house, no problem. But first, my children have to get the clean house. I'll give them the clean house. My children need to have the breakfast table. They will get. They'll get
the breakfast
lunch,
also.
Lunch on the table. They'll get lunch. I don't mind cleaning it. I don't mind cleaning the house daily. Why not? If I have time, I don't want to waste my time on the TV. That time spend my home. I am not going for any party. Why? I can spend that time for my kids and family, because that is, you have to set your priorities. Your right priorities will give you right result. Wrong priorities, we always complain.
That's true.
So before we sign off, Mr. Suriji, time is running out and the production is showing us.
I'll tell you, I have to say one thing. On the healthcare side, we normally hear that there is a. See, I will tell everybody that if somebody is sick, do not rush to hospital. There is telehealth help available online. Secondly, there are some virtual clinics like Rhino Care. You enroll yourself over there. They use your OHIP only, and you can talk to some doctor or some nurse practitioner on the virtually, and he can prescribe the medication for you. That will reduce the rush in the hospital
and emergency.
Why you are complaining? I have, when my son goes sick, my wife goes, I always type in Rhino Care. The person is there within 3 minutes, within 15 minutes, everything is done.
Yeah, I do the same.
And he says which pharmacy you want. He sent the prescription over there. So So there are ways. We are
not handling those. We are misusing.
We misuse.
So would you like to give a final remark, comments to our Canadians?
Be Canadian. Be a responsible Canadian.
Definitely.
Be worthy of Canadian citizenship.
Be proud Canadian.
Do not just say I am in Canada. I have to say, but become first worthy of. Learn about Canadian vision, Canadian dream. And then you'll know what Canada is.
Thank you.
Be responsible.
So with that note from our guest speaker, Paramjit Suriji, he would be signing off soon. Your host, Asphandiar Wadiwalla, my co-host, Ghada Hamdani, would like to say good night, goodbye. God bless Canada. God save the King.
Thank you.
Thank you.